In an article published last week titled, "American Fear: China's Pursuit of Prosperity Created a New World," author Gabor Steingart pointed out that people in the White House believe China's relative poverty is the basic requirement for Western security architecture in the 21st century. The article laid bare the West's deepest fear, saying when Chinese citizens' per capita prosperity catches up to that of Americans, a new world will be created, which would break U.S. global domination and create a China century. In other words, making China relatively poor is an undisguised way of achieving Washington's target, safeguarding its hegemony and dominance in the world. Quite a few Western elites believe that China has benefited from Western resources and technology sharing to realize its rapid development. But the Western world, especially the US, now feels hurt. They think it is getting increasingly difficult to deal with a stronger, more confident China, failing to acknowledge its own aggressive deeds. They also believe it is getting hard to maintain the West's previous absolute power advantages and dominance in the world. They want to pile pressure on China from the outside and weaken it from the inside, and the most convenient way is setting blocks on China's path toward prosperity. If China becomes poor again, its global influence will wane. Internally, domestic chaos may emerge. In that case, the West's domineering position will be maintained. It will be easier to do whatever it wants to China at will. The argument mirrors the deep-rooted imperial and colonial mentality of some Westerners. They believe that only the West has a say in other countries' systems, national governance, and what constitutes people's well-being. In terms of China, the US has a specific way of pursuing its goal. This means economic decoupling and disrupting China's external environment that enable the country to implement reform and opening up. The US has been making economic plans in the Indo-Pacific region to exclude China. For the moment, the Quad countries are focusing on security cooperation. Yet it remains to be seen whether they will create regional exclusive economic mechanism from the Quad bloc. Washington has also been ganging up with its allies to stir up troubles for Beijing, ranging from the South China Sea to Xinjiang affairs. There is a kind of extremeness, stubbornness, and a sense of superiority in the West's policymaking toward non-Western countries. The West always attempts to grab their resources. It also tries to force people in these countries to accept that such resource plunder and inequality are justified by transforming their perceptions. If China's prosperity reaches the level of the West's, it will share its benefits with the world. This is what Beijing has been doing. But apparently, Western elites don't accept such a vision. As China develops, these people will create more troubles for China.